What's going on, guys? I want to talk about how you have kids as young as elementary school who get bullied in schools. Um, you know, we all know that looks play a big role in how people are perceived and how people are treated in the world, right? Looks determine a whole lot out here. Um, there are kids who got bullied in elementary school. My elementary school days were the best days of my life, and I'm sure elementary school was the best days of a lot of people's lives. Um, you didn't have no worries, didn't have not a care in the world in those days. Um, but there were certain kids that got bullied in elementary school because of the way that they look, or perhaps the kids felt that they acted weird or whatever. Um, this is something that a lot of people don't want to talk about, but looks play a big role in how you're treated in this life, and this is something that kids need to be taught. Um, I'm glad I didn't go through no bullying as young as elementary school. I mean, but there are kids who do experience it. Um, if I'm not mistaken, I know for a fact a lot of folks didn't start catching hell until they entered middle school and high school, because that's when you really start experiencing negative experiences. Once you get to middle school, high school, I say middle school and high school is where you start. That's where a lot of people experience a lot of they start experiencing a lot of hell. I'll just say that. Once they get to middle school, high school, those years, and the reason why a lot of people experience a lot of hell in their middle school and high school years is because we all know that those middle school and high school years, those are years where you're going through puberty. Those are years where you're starting to like girls. So in those years, you know, it's very crucial. You know, those are the years to where, if you don't necessarily act like, if you don't act like, you know, if you don't act like the so-called, you know, cool kids or whatever when you're in middle school and high school, especially if you're in an urban environment, if you don't act a certain way, if you don't talk a certain way, especially in those years, it can definitely cause you to be ostracized and bullied and treated bad. Um, that's why I say those years are some very crucial years. Um, though those adolescent years are no joke, though, because those are the years where you want to fit in. You start becoming conscious about your apparel and all of that, and I'm sure a lot of guys experienced a lot of bullying, or just experienced a lot of mistreatment in those years. Um, and I know it wasn't just me. Those are the years to where you really want to fit in. You really want to fit in, and you really want to be accepted in those middle school and high school years. But I truly believe when it comes to being accepted, or being treated a certain way, especially in those formative years, I say your formative years are your middle school and high school years. I feel the way you're treated in those years, looking back on those years, the way you're treated in those years is strictly based on your appearance. Because if you don't look a certain way, you know, if you don't act, like everybody else, if you follow your own wave, and you're not trying to, assimilate to everyone else, you will be treated a certain way. And then you got certain people who tried to fit in, but it still don't work for you. That's how it was for me in those years. Your middle school, high school years, you tried to fit in, but it still didn't work for you, because certain things just don't work for certain people. I never forget when I was in high school, people felt that I was old school. I always felt that I was kind of ahead of my time in a way. I used to wear corduroy blazers back in high school. I always felt that I was ahead of my time. Um, you know, and when you're not in assimilation with everyone else, that will definitely cause you to be ostracized. And, you know, certain things just don't fit certain people, because it's crazy how you have certain kids who will try to fit in, but it don't work for them. It just doesn't work out for everybody. Um, but overall, I truly believe that the way you're treated in school, the reason why certain kids are bullied in school, the reason why certain kids are treated so badly in school, and the reason why certain kids are seen as squares or rejects or oddballs or whatever you want to call them, a big part of it comes from looks. Looks play a big part. I mean, if you look at certain movies, because growing up, I used to watch a lot of Disney Channel. Um, in one movie that I used to love, and let me know if you guys know about this movie. It's a movie called Brink with the star Eric Von Denton. That I used to love that movie. I believe that movie was shot in California. I used to love that movie. That movie made me want to go to the skating ring all the time as a kid. Uh, Disney Channel had a slew of good movies, but that's one movie that I really enjoyed watching growing up. Brink. Um, I you know I feel like if you just don't look a certain way, that's what I see. If you don't look a certain way, or if you don't act, I say, in a way that people deem as cool, or just hip, so to say. If people think that you just a cornball or square, but a lot of it does boil down to physical appearance. But I see now why certain kids got bullied in certain, in these movies, because these movies are nothing more than an extension of real life. But I see why these kids got bullied, because they weren't in sync with everyone else. And mainly it was their appearance to why they were being bullied and picked on. But yeah, I truly believe that when it comes to fitting in, especially in those formative years, you can include elementary school in there. But elementary, I didn't have no issues in elementary school. Those were the best days of my life. Hell didn't start breaking out in most people's life, if I'm not mistaken, until they started liking females. I say those middle school and high school years, those are the years that are very crucial. Um, because I know those were some very crucial years for me. It's weird how the elementary school years are great. You got some kids that were bullied in elementary too, but it's crazy how those elementary years were the best years, and all hell didn't start breaking out until middle school and high school. That's when life became drastically harder. But a lot of this stuff, looking back on this stuff, now that we're all grown, a lot of this stuff is based on looks. If you don't look a certain way, yeah, you're gonna experience hell. You're gonna have problems. You're gonna experience a lot of you're gonna experience a lot of ostracism. You're gonna definitely be outcasted and treated badly. Um, this looks issue ain't no it's no joke. It is no joke. And only if I would have known this in my younger days, it could have helped me out a whole lot. Um, it's crazy. But yeah, I mean, now we understand why certain kids were bullied and picked on when they was in middle school and high school, you know, because they were seen as squares. They were seen as oddballs, you know. If you don't act a certain way, if you don't look a certain way. But I don't even think. Let me know what you guys think. I don't think it really boils down so much to acting a certain way. I believe it boils down to looks more so than anything else. I don't think it boils down to acting a certain way because let's be real. I mean, unless you're just a complete dork, you know, you know, you know, most people don't act like that. They're not acting like a Steve Urkel. Most people not acting like that. So I truly believe that it's more looks than the way you act. Based on how people perceive you and how you're gonna be treated. I feel like if people think you look like a square, then that's how they're gonna treat you. You could have a great personality, a good sense of style. You could have all of that. But if people think you look like a square, or if people perceive you as an oddball, then that's how you're gonna be treated by people, unfortunately. And that's why a lot of these kids are being bullied in school. And I know that it's kids in elementary, middle school, high school who are being bullied right now. And hopefully they see this presentation. It will give them some insight on why they're experiencing the hell that they're experiencing, you know? And they won't have to get grown in their 20s or 30s before they understand, why they caught so much hell in those formative years. But yeah, that's my take on this. Let me know what you guys think about kids who get bullied in their formative years, those middle school and high school years. I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to this. I'm sure certain guys were even bullied in their elementary days. But I felt this would be a good topic. Someone left a comment and requested that I talk about this. But I'll be back at you guys with more content. Hope everybody's having an okay Tuesday. And I will talk to you soon. Have a good one.